Hey, what's up, everybody? Me and Dan are here live today on the Toy Talk live stream. This is
What's
kind
up,
of different.
everybody?
First time that I've done this from my phone, but we'll see how it goes.
What's going on with you, Terry? You doing all right?
Yeah, doing pretty good, man. Just hanging out with my family at the at Sunday Fun Day, doing a little bit of a cookout, some pool time, and dropping in to get this live stream going, and then gonna get in the pool. So,
Ooh, that sounds makes me think of a Digital Underground song. I've
so
been
here
listening
we
to a lot of
are.
Digital Underground lately. I don't know what's up with that. You know,
I've been listening
things
to a
go in
lot of weird
cycles.
stuff, man.
I was listening to all types of. I'm a old school. Well, it was just hip hop to me, but I'm an old school hip hop fan, and
Hmm.
yeah, I love all types of music, and I've just been on this kick, man. And there's a guy I want to hopefully interview him at some point. A guy named Kwame. Have you ever heard of Kwame?
Nope.
Kwame the Boy Genius. He was a rapper in the early '90s. Had a bunch of little hits and videos and stuff. He's an avid toy collector, and so he has a bunch of Facebook Reels and TikToks where he's talking about toys and this and that. And he's got a new album that drops on the 29th. And he's got one of his videos he just released for it. And I guess he's like it almost looks like he's in a comic book store, but he's like dropping stuff about toy, this for the toy collectors, this for the this. And it's really, really cool. And I was like, my man, I'm getting your album. So, hey, before we get rolling, we want to give a shout out to David T. Allen. Uh,
Yes,
David is not here with us today. He has a family emergency, and we are praying for him and his family. And we ask everybody out there to keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers. David will update everybody as he needs to with what's going on. He's okay. It's just there's a family member that's not doing well. I don't know all the details, but David, if you somehow catch this, we love you, brother, and we're praying for you and your family.
absolutely. That's a rough situation, but hopefully everything turns out okay.
Yeah, we're hoping and praying. So
So
Terry, we
hopefully
got a
we'll
lot
see
to.
him back here next week, I hope.
Oh yeah, yes, we will. And well, I guess we got a lot to talk about though. We've got
Yes, all the rumors
Hasbro.
and all the girl talk and all that stuff.
Oh yes. So
So
this little thing called the Snowcat, I will admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. It funded. It funded. Some
I
people,
was starting to wonder if it was going to there toward the end, and then
you
all of
know,
a sudden,
I don't think it would hurt for them to get an L every now and then, to keep them humble. But I'm just afraid the way Hasbro is such a schizophrenic company at the top. We're getting out of toys. Hey, look, we renewed the Marvel license. We're getting out of toys. I'd love to see an aircraft carrier built. There's all
yeah,
this like kind of back and forth. I think they have meds you can take for that. I'm not sure, or you can go talk to somebody. But I was afraid if it didn't fund, they'd be like, "That's it. We're pulling the plug on GI Joe." It didn't
yeah.
fund, but
Well,
it
not
did.
only did it fund, but it funded, and then it broke all three of the tiers on that last day.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's got to be a record. I mean, not. I mean, just to go from 0 to 60 like that. I know there are some folks out there saying there's some shenanigans. I've heard that from just fans from the YouTube community, and I've heard that from their Hasbro's business partners that they think there's a little. So as my son's generation would say, it's a little sus. But regardless, it got funded. People are getting what they want. Um, and we're,
Oh,
we're going to get a snowcat, I guess.
yeah, it does look kind of weird. It's almost like all the people that poo-pooed it just jumped in and decided that they had to have one. I ended up backing one for myself and an extra one, and that was like we got hit with so much stuff here right at the end of that
Oh,
campaign, like
well,
like all of the I can't even remember what they're called. I because I've made fun of them for so long. The latrine viper with the surveillance portalet, I got hit for all of those.
Is that finally
yesterday.
going to ship?
Yeah, yeah, finally.
I
I got
forgot. I
charged
started
for all
wondering if I
mine.
already had it on the shelf. I was like down here looking around, like I don't see it.
We ordered those in October of last year.
Was oh wow,
Yeah,
wow,
almost a year to get them.
wow. So for me, I did not back the Snowcat. I have access to one if I want one. Because there's this guy named Terry that was going to sell me this Cobra Temple, and that's a peach. Then there's um, the the Void Rivals San Diego. There was a Cold Slithers set, and there was
Yeah.
all these pre-orders, and then I think I told you that when we went out of town, we stopped at Full Circle Toys. Shout out to
Hmm.
Full Circle Toys in Noonan, Georgia, and I walked away with a vintage Nerf man, and we went across the street to a furniture place. My wife vis-a-vis me got a couch, a love seat, and a bedroom set. So it
Oh,
was like we might have to pass on some things right now just to kind of clear the decks,
did
so to
you end up
speak.
getting a cold slither set?
I did not, but I've got access to one if I want one.
Okay. I was
I
gonna
haven't
say if you
decided.
don't, then I've got an extra one of those for you as well
Oh, okay,
if you need
okay.
one.
Well,
So
maybe I'll take that off your hands. We'll work something out. I'll come.
my my
I'll come up and cut your grass. Take my shirt off or something. Now, just to let you know, I'm allergic to grass cutting, so I might have like use my inhaler. But I'll be out there like, hey,
right.
what's going on in front of Terry's.
So what's the rumor with the snowcat? Are people saying that that Hasbro backed that themselves or artificially
There,
inflated the numbers or
there's not like some there's not like some talking point memo like rumor. It's just a lot of people, like I said, and like because I was talking to I have a couple friends that did not back it, and when they came in this weekend at the shop, I said, I better not have backed that thing. Like we're not going to do. And they were like, no, we didn't. And I was like, okay. I
is
was
it
like,
the
it's
same
wild.
guys that are looking for a his tank at Ollie's?
No, 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 no. These guys, we make fun of those guys together. Yeah. Now when I said I've got access to Cold Slither and a Snowcat, I've got an Ollie's right around the corner, and I'm just going to go there and pick them up because they already have them. Might get my tenth
They're in the back.
Dragonfly and his tank at Ollie's, and my USS Flag and all that. But the Ollie's riders, the Ollie's Dick riders, they no, these guys just they got a lot of pre-orders in the mix with me, with Hasbro, with Ramen Toys and all that sort of, which reminds me I got to get the order 3030 the Marshall's partner. Um
Hmm.
he looks great.
Yes.
I got to
Yeah, he
remember to get
does.
him. I got the tab on my computer upstairs open, and I just need to pull the trigger, literally,
I
figuratively.
don't have anything from Ramen, but the Marshall Brave Star stuff is something that I'm definitely
I
interested in.
I have the Marshall, and he's badass. He's
Really.
awesome. Yeah, I
What was the
that
price
was
point
a
on him?
uh man. I ordered it so long ago, I don't even remember. I want to. I don't know. I don't remember. I at one point I forgot I ordered him, and my buddy, one of the guys that didn't get the his tank, was like, "Hey, the Marshall's shipping," and I'm like, "The what?" He's like, "The Marshall. Remember we ordered it?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's right," because I ordered mine like the very last day you could. Um, no, there's not really any like direct talking point, like Emily logged on to 10 accounts or something like that. It's just I've heard from YouTubers, I've heard from fans, and I've heard from business partners, we'll say, of Hasbro that they just think it's a little odd that it went from like not that it funded, but that it magically fully funded. Hopefully there's not some shenanigans involved. I mean, we'll never know.
I
And
thought it
and
was
re-
kind of odd too, but a couple of other people that I was talking to that I do the Circle of Jerks live stream with, they had speculated early on that it was going to break all three tiers right at the end.
See, the thing with crowdfunders, and you'll learn this in the one we're about to do, or the ones we're going to do, I should say, is that you get a big pop your first day and you get your biggest pop the last day.
Yeah.
But it seemed like with the HasLab stuff, like the his tank, they were like, "You guys have 14, like a month and a half. Oh, look, it just funded." It's like they didn't have to get it all out.
Well, they had
Uh,
that. they had that incentive as well if they funded it within what I don't remember if it was so many days or so many hours that we would get the fan vote figure. And coming with four figures, I think that the his tank was something really special that we probably won't see again.
Yeah, now you know what I really hope now that this thing funded, whatever's standing in the way of it, we can get a MOBAP. I want to because and I'm going to probably kick myself for saying this and probably sound a little hypocritical because I've said that I think we're in the stage of the game where Hasbro is going to start price gouging us and blame it on whatever this the supposed tariffs that aren't impacting anything except we're making lots of money, or this mysterious object headed to Earth. They'll blame it on that, or they'll blame it on the Nephilim in Antarctica or something. But
Right.
all that being said, because they're adding their $5 and $35 extra on these on everything now, just like they did a few years ago. But they that being said, and I'm going to regret this, I would pay $400 for a MOBAP.
I'm not
Because
really
it would
so
have to be
much
so
concerned with
big.
a Mobat.
It'd have to be so big. It'd have to be. I think it'd have to be bigger than the his tank,
I think the
because
Mauler would probably be a better choice than the Mobat just because of the amount of figures that it can carry.
you're probably right on that. But see, in my mind, I would redo the MOBAT to where the back part would open up, kind of like you could put people in it, and then you
Okay.
got people up in the front, and you got somebody in the gun turret. And to me,
Yeah.
that would be a pretty pricey to get the size right, because you've got to think like the his tank's supposed to be, what is it, high speed sentry.
Right.
It's supposed to be a fast attack tank, where the Mobat's going to traditionally be slower. But of course, well, I shouldn't say that. It's a bigger tank, so it's going to be slower, but it's a GiJoe item, so it moves fast. If that makes sense, because it's like cutting edge tech or whatever.
Yeah,
Says
that
we have
makes
a
sense. But I don't know. I
guest
think,
star on the podcast, young Robert. Giving
yeah,
he's saying no Mobat. I want a
he's
mauler.
doing a cameo.
Robert, what's your thought, buddy? I
He
know you're
doesn't
new
have
to
any
this.
right now. Yeah, he doesn't have any right now. Oh, I'm going to relocate before he gets too loud.
For those
But
who don't know, Terry's in a secure location, and
yeah,
they're moving him. Secret Service is moving him to another part of the skiff.
another part of the skiff, yes.
But I'm happy for the people that wanted to get the Snowcat. They're going to get it, and they're getting all the tiers. I think that's a great thing. It just it does kind of beg how it happened, because I saw when it funded. I figured, like David even said, he thought it was going to hit the basic fund, and it did. And I thought, it's probably going to barely hit that. But all the other Joe stuff seemed to just go faster, with the exception of the Sky Striker. But I don't really count that because it's not in with the classifieds.
Yeah, the Sky Striker was kind of a mess. That was they pulled some stuff last minute to try and get it to fund, I think.
And I really
The added figures, the sticker sheets, and all that stuff.
And that's kind of a weird one for me too, because Hasbro has no love for the 4-inch scale line, and it seems like they don't. And it was just kind of a shot out of the blue that we're going to do this Sky Striker, and then we're going to do them in the O-rings. Because I knew a lot of people that would have got the Sky Striker if it was modern sculpt, and it just seems like kind of weird, like because we're going to kind of do 3 3/4, but we're not, and we're going to make them super pricey so nobody will buy them, and then we can say we tried.
Well, apparently they. I mean, I'm saying this again, but they don't have the support that the 6-inch line has. They don't have the support from the community because all people did was complain about it. They complained about the price, they complained about the look, they complained about the construction, the cards, every single thing they did with that O-ring line, everybody complained about it. And all that stuff ended up going to clearance or going to other retailers that was supposed to be Pulse exclusive. And then you've got the Transformers crossovers that end up getting drastically reduced in price not long after they're out. They're going to have to do something with inventory control and production control. Make this stuff special to make it sought after, or just risk all of it going to clearance.
I think the issue is that, excuse me.
Nothing's special anymore, is what it seems like.
Well, they did that back in the day. We're going what, 10 years ago, 12 years
Mm-hmm.
ago. They had when Mark Webber was the brand manager, and they had the 50th anniversary line, which is kind of a misnomer because it wasn't the Real American Hero 50th. It was the GiJoe
Right.
brand, and they were available at shops like mine, Entertainment Earth, and Toys R Us. And then like the very last wave, which I believe was in 2015, or maybe 2016, was only available to like Toys R Us. And I thought most of those were really great figures. I thought it was a great idea. And then but I don't know, it's like they just kind of half do it. And then they were like, oh, look,
Yes.
we tried. It's almost like, hey, Terry, go out and get some sun. And like you open the door and step out, walking up. I almost got burned. I'm done.
Now, I've also heard that the profit margin on O-ring figures is much lower than what it is on the 6-inch line.
I could see that because of the extra construction and stuff.
Yeah.
See, I would just do, I don't know. I appreciate the O-rings. I'm not a huge O-ring guy. I mean, I get the original stuff and I recard it or I buy it mint on card. I love it. It's very cherished memory. But as far as like display purposes, and if I was a kid, because I'm going off my son's perspective here now, he loves the 4-inch line. They fit in his hand. He can put them in buildings. He can put them in vehicles. They have weapons, accessories. Now, I think where they went a little crazy with it, which I appreciate what they did, but almost too many accessories. And see, this is where I think like an accessory pack would fall in. So like you get grab a guy here. So you get like the 4-inch Dr. Mindbender, which is just from the 25th anniversary line. You cape, weapon, and a knife or something. And then if you want like his equipment, you can get like the Cobra Scientist pack, where you got
Right.
like mass device tubes and maybe his torture stuff. Maybe there's something for the interrogator in there. But I
Well, see,
just think
that's one
like
of the
they
things that I'm hoping to do with the Arc line action figures is have
do some
accessory
accessory
packs, like
packs.
mission packs.
See, I think that's a great idea, and it gets people invested in it because when you got I see these people are like, well, I got all the Joes now, and I'm like, well, you really don't have all the Joes because there's like 3,000 characters, and there's a third of them that never even made, like just auxiliary characters,
Well, then the
but like you can
basically
dress
what
them
I'm
up with the
hoping to do
accessories.
is keep the figure costs down by not having a ton of stuff with them, but then make accessory packs available. Like they'll have enough stuff that they can carry and whatnot and be kitted out, but have accessory packs if you want to put more mission stuff together.
Oh yeah. See, I think like, David's talked about how the story points, like with the Arctic stuff or whatever, with
Mm-hmm.
Snowcat. See, to me, I think it'd be cool, whether it be 4-inch or 6-inch, you get an accessory pack that's like Arctic missions. So maybe it's
Yes.
a snow poncho, some snow goggles, some snowshoes that you can
Well, I
dress
mean,
up
if you
your
remember,
Duke.
they did that with the Hall of Fame line.
Yeah. Just like an accessory, like a desert accessory pack, where you get the scarf, and or bavilica, and then like glasses or whatever, aquatic set, whatever. Because like I get these people that are like that aren't really GI Joe fans that collect the classifieds, and
Mm-hmm.
some of these are the Ollie's people, and they're like, oh, they've pretty much made everybody. They're on like number 203. I'm like, brother, they haven't scratched the surface yet. Like there's still quite a few figures, and even if they did all the figures, start over, put them in dress greens, dress blues, Arctic, scuba gear, whatever. I'm down
Yeah,
with
it's not like
whatever.
they haven't always made a ton of different versions of each character.
Oh yeah, and then you got different looks for Duke, and some of the more modern takes on Duke. I'd love to see in 6-inch, like the Resolute Duke. You could even, God forbid, do the Rock line.
Well, what was
which
it? The 30th? Was it the 30th anniversary or
Pursuit of Cobra Line, yeah, the 30th.
where they did the? I mean, it's basically the Predator theme with
Oh yeah, that was
Shadow
awesome.
Tracker. Let's see, Shadow Tracker, Recondo, Duke, Spirit, and who was the other one?
Uh, well, I know you had Zartan in that line, but that felt more like a desert figure. Um, there was quite a few people in that line, but there was,
Well, there was specifically like four of them
yeah, I
that
know what
were
you're talking
from,
about.
yeah, the Predator
See,
theme.
yeah, I'm looking to see if I can remember up on my shelf.
Now, just FYI, I'm gonna cut things a little bit short today since I'm not like I've got other stuff going on.
Oh, no worries.
But I did want us to do our stream. So, but
Well, I really wish I was telling my wife this morning that I've said this probably on this show a few times, and I've said it in my shop and whatever, and I'll say it on my show. I think we're very blessed to be adults and have the ability to collect toys. It's kind of a neat
yes,
hobby, but ultimately they need to appeal to kids,
they do.
and I think that's where they're missing out on.
It is,
Because
man, because there's if they're doing it right now, then the new push with Walmart is going to be an attempt to appeal to kids.
and I think that's
Just
great.
kids seeing those setups.
I like what they've done, but I'm just afraid you're just going to have adults like the Ollie's guys are going to go there and like, they'll give you $100 for the display, just
Yeah,
and then it's going to be on eBay or whatever, and it's
right. So they
just
can flip it on eBay.
because I don't know about you, but at the GI Joe shows, even going back to like JoeCon in 2018, I saw a lot of kids with their parents, and they were buying figures. Yeah, they were buying O rings. They were buying 4-inch figures and three and three
Yeah,
quarter figures. But they just wanted Joe's. And I was like, how can they
right.
not see this? How can they not see this and do something about it? Like my son's 8, getting ready to turn 9. I remember turning 9. That was a big GI Joe birthday. I
Like
mean,
I
like
said for a long time, man, if they're going to appeal to kids, they need to completely reinvent GI Joe. They need to do it. I mean, even if it's in a 6-inch format, they need to do something completely different for kids. It's going to have to be reinvented, just like it was reinvented for us in the 80s. It was reinvented from the line that they had in the 60s and 70s.
see, I think the mistake they make is they try to do it and they dumb it down because it's for kids. And you
Yes.
don't. And I was explaining to somebody earlier, if you go back to the old Sunbow cartoon, and people are probably tired of hearing me saying this, the production values, as far as like the establishment shots and the writing and the scripting of the show, was so good. Like typically, if you have a kids cartoon and the shot is okay, Terry and Dan are walking in the hallway at school, they just automatically go to us walking in the hallway talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like our arms flailing around, whatever. GI Joe would have an establishment shot of the school, and you would hear me and you talking. Then it would cut to us already in the hallway, and that's like
Right.
stuff they do on normal TV and movies, and that's why I think it holds up. Yeah, the plots are ridiculous. I mean, giant plants, a siren song with a seashell.
Have you
That's
watched Renegades?
yes, I have. I haven't watched it all. My son likes Renegades,
And
and my
see, I
best
think
friend loves it.
Renegades was an excellent reinvention of G.I. Joe. The
But they had it
distribution of the
on.
show sucked.
They had it on some channel like channel 438 that nobody had
It was
at
like
a weird
Hub or
time.
whatever.
Yeah, at a weird time. And it's like you would think with YouTube, you could just put on a show. It's your own channel. You can
YouTube, Netflix,
you don't even
HBO.
have to mess with the FCC because it's not on broadcast television.
And there's tons of outlets there they could put something like that on.
I
You know
just
what?
don't think they. I think it's easier for them to complain and say like, we don't make toys for collectors. Oh, we really make toys for collectors. Kids just aren't into toys. Well, yeah, because you're not offering it to them. And that's the thing, it's like my kid, he's got a pile of Joes in the other room. We're using like Playmobil bases and or buildings and stuff. He's got a Playmobil hospital. It's always a zombie outbreak. but somebody's
Yeah,
sniping somebody. But
but
but he's
you've
using.
got like the Sigma Six stuff. That was another reinvention.
See, I think with that, I feel like you have to have, like, if I was the guy in charge, and I talked about this early on, I
Mhm.
would just take a real American hero and redo it. Just start it fresh. You got the
Yeah,
characters. You don't have to. You can create some new characters or whatever, but just start it fresh and introduce it that way. Don't
a
don't
new
assume.
cohesive story.
Yeah, don't assume that we know anything. We don't already know who Duke is. Just make Duke a badass.
Hmm.
And when you have Snake Eyes, you don't have to play Japanese music every time he shows up because that gets a little goofy.
Oh, but
And
we have Energon.
I'm fine with that. If they, I like I said last week, I wish they would just do an Energon toy line. Just
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah,
And I
take
don't
those
know.
collaborative Transformers and GI Joe figures and make that the Energon universe. Make it 3 3/4, 4 inch, whatever, and have Transformers that are scaled to those figures. Release the figures as standalones. Release the Transformers with a figure, just like they've done with the crossover sets. I think that would be a perfect opportunity to do an Energon toy line.
I
That
agree.
I'll tell you, man, the SDCC set, it was really cool to get Salila and Derek as 3 3/4 inch O-ring figures. What was kind of not cool was the fact that they just stuck another Jetfire in there from the Siege line, a Jetfire that we've already gotten a few times, and he's not scaled to the figures.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you get into the cost then, and are people going to pay that cost?
Well, look at the crossover line they already have. They have Transformers that are scaled to 3 3/4 inch figures,
That's true.
and they're not overly expensive.
Well, I think Energon would be good. I mean, I'm even happy if they did. I mean, they wouldn't be to scale, but if you did 6 inch or 4 inch, well, or how about this? You do 4 inch humans and like 6 inch, 8 inch transformers, maybe even 12 inch if they get the bigger, the bigger guys,
Yeah,
because I don't care if they transform. I like the robots, and I'd be fine like having them post up, like you have Duke or you have Clutch and Hound, and they're kind of posed out and stuff. I think that would be really cool. I just think that I think with anything, it's all depends on leadership and what the agenda is, and the agenda should be to sell toys. And how do
yeah. I
you
mean,
sell
what do we know,
toys?
man? I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, what do we know? We're just people talking about what we'd like
That's
to
that's
see.
true, but it's I think the same thing's true in any business, a sports organization or whatever. You see successful sports franchises when they get new leadership that wants to change the culture, to win and do that, do this and that. They grow, they develop, they win. Uh,
Yeah,
you know, and then you get all your pieces in, but then it's like with and same thing in business. If you just Kroger is threatened by Publix coming to town because Publix is very well established in the. I only know them in the southeast, and like in Florida and Georgia. I mean, I don't know if they're nationwide, but like they're now in Louisville, and like Kroger's like freaking out about it. But it's all about leadership.
yeah,
I go into the Kroger by my shop, and everyone looks very unhappy. The employees look unhappy. The customers look unhappy, and it's all about leadership and like to having a good clear cut agenda. And I think if you're Hasbro, you're like the number one toy manufacturer. Well, I guess Lego's still number one, but like Lego puts out stuff that's for kids, for adults, for I don't know who, because some of that stuff I'm like, I don't even know if God could build these sets, but good luck. Because I'm like, I ain't touching it. But
Ivy's starting to get into a little bit of Lego stuff.
yeah, Wyatt still likes it, and we still have some sets we need to put together. And I just acquired some vintage space Lego not too long ago, and it's in a place of love here in the action adventure room. But
So,
yeah, I don't
touching
know.
on this comment here, just real quick,
Yeah,
it, we talked about this before about the rumor that the Energon license was sold to the Energon license for a cartoon was sold to somebody. So there is a possibility that we're going to get something along the lines of that. If they do that like they did the Invincible cartoon, which is outrageously popular, um, I think that the potential is there for an action figure line like what I mentioned, with it being scaled correctly and expansive.
I think there's potential for something, and I'm in favor of what you suggested. I'm also in favor of like if you I don't care if they transform. If you want to give me
See,
like
I
a
do.
see, I'm the weirdo because all my transformers stay as robots.
Yeah.
Um, Mostly because they're too complicated for me to transform now, unless they're the old ones. I have to like find some random kid like, hey, you're transforming this for me. You know,
Right.
why is Wyatt's dad bringing toys to school? He needs them transformed. Don't ask. But uh, but no, it's like to me, like when they announced their red line, I thought that was kind of cool until they just you couldn't find them. Oh, they're only at Walmart, and there's just kind of like a weird selection of characters. But to
And then
me,
it seems
like
like it just kind of fell off. I think that they were hyped up on the Siege line at that point, or War for Cybertron line at that point, which I loved those figures. I had a ton of them, had all of them actually, and ended up selling off all of them except for the Walmart exclusive Netflix figures.
I still have all mine, or at least mostly all mine. Um, if you're wondering why I'm looking that way because I think they're over this way somewhere. Um, but I don't know. Like if you're gonna do, I guess you could do. Oh, I guess you could do both. You can walk and chew gum. So say like they take your idea and they make them
You
to
might be able
scale.
to.
Well, don't be tripwire. You know what are those? Them's mines. I know they're yours. What are they? They're mines. I know they're yours. What are they? You know that's I love that bit. It's still one of my favorite bits. But you do like your idea because you could do like one or two per, or you do like one per wave, right? That way you get the really big one, and guys like us would probably pay for it. But like for the kids and for other people, do like the Joes and the Void Rival characters in 4 inch, maybe even 5 inch, and then do the robots minimum of 6 inches, 8 inches, 12 inches. So that way you Prime's gonna tower over Duke, or
Yeah.
Hound's gonna be bigger than Clutch, but he's not gonna be gigantic. And who cares about the scaling? Because they mass shift and all that, so they can be a certain size, and it kind of keeps it in the Hasbro 4, 6, 8, 12
I
category.
care about the scaling because
Well, I do character. I do. That's why I like the Siege line. But I'm talking about like, yeah, if it's a semi truck, I mean, we wouldn't be able to see his face probably.
right.
He'd be so tall, and that's not going to be realistic for kids or for a shelf. But I don't know, just an idea to throw out there. If the Hasbro's are listening, they can take it and run with it. But you get 4 inch Joes, 4 inch Void Rivals, modern sculpts. Then you get 6, 8, 10, 12 inch Transformers, depending on who the character is. Like your deluxes could be 6 inch. Uh, maybe whatever.
Man,
But,
I
but,
want
but
more of the existing crossover line that they started doing stuff with. We've got what, four of them now, and
something like that.
there's talks of more. There were talks of more, and then all of a sudden, just silence. So, like, is that line done and just not announced that it's done, or
That's
is
what
there
I'm.
more
That's what I'm afraid
coming?
of because I think there was a lot of hype for it, and then people complained about Megatron because he's too hollow, and I'm like, you're gonna have some trade off. If not, things are gonna be
Yeah,
$300. You
if you
know,
want a transformer that's going to accommodate a 3 3/4 figure, there's going to be trade offs.
and I mean, if it's sitting on a shelf, who cares? But I
Right.
I agree with you. I think Energon is the key. I mean, it's revitalized the comics. Even the Larry Hama comic, which is non-related, I'm still selling good numbers on that. Better than I was when it was with IDW, and it's been fun. Now I'm not caught up on Transformers. That's my goal this weekend.
I am, and man, let me tell you, it
I've
is.
seen the last. I know it. I already looked through it. and I saw, and then I
It's a good
actually
issue.
looked, and I looked through next week's GI Joe, and there's a nice little thing at the end of that too. So make sure you guys go get your GI Joe that comes out next week
I am
because it's.
subscribed to all of them.
But the Transformer one, I was like, I watched a guy review it, and like he was getting, you could hear him getting goosebumps, and I had to stop what I was doing. I was doing something. I was like, oh, I'll listen to this, and the whole time I'm like,
I wish that she was here. That would be awesome. I don't think that we're on the radar of literally anybody though.
what's that?
Lone Dragon said it's three of us in the chat plus Emily question mark. It's like I wish.
Um, but yeah, that I agree. I think Energon would probably be a good gateway. Now, Kirkman says that that's a no, that there is no show.
There is
But
no show. Okay.
yeah, but you know, it could be. It's not the. That's like saying, have we seen the last of Roman Reigns when he lost at WrestleMania? Like, well, they can't tell you what the plans are. You know,
Right.
like he's going to show up at the Rumble or he's going to show up and do this. So I don't know. It might be one of those things that maybe somebody caught wind of it and jumped before they were supposed to, or maybe it's just BS. Maybe it's wishful thinking. I think it would be phenomenal. I would be happy to see take the freaking comics and page by page and make it into a cartoon. I'd
Absolutely.
watch. Oh my gosh, I would
I'd
watch.
I'd watch it. Dude, my little girl is even starting to talk about seeing action figures on TV because I let her
Oh,
watch some of Renegades and she was all about it.
well, and what I was explaining, I was talking to my wife a little bit about this morning about why. Yeah, okay, I get in this conversation. A friend of mine's a big Transformers guy. When Transformers One, the trailer came out, he said, "What'd you think?" And I was like, "I think it looks silly, Billy. It looks like Thor: Love and Thunder. I have no interest in seeing it." And then I heard it was actually really good. Just the trailer, they didn't do it any favors because they always go to the lowest common denominator and dumb everything down. And then, but my friend had said to me, like, well, man, they're making it for kids. And I was like, bro, the stuff we still like 40 years later was made for kids. Us. It was done good. And that's why it's 40
Right.
years later. And it's like, if you do any of this good, you know, and like the thing with G.I. Joe, and I heard one of the voice actors talk about this one time that, yeah, the plots are pretty outlandish. Cobra controls the weather. Oh, wait a minute. That could be okay. Um, Cobra's going to steal all the good. Well, never mind on that. Well, giant plants. We'll go to the giant plants. Say the giant plants. It's very outlandish, silly, kind of stupid, right? On the onset, you're like, I'm not watching this, but it's the characters. The characters
Yes.
sell the show because they you can there's bravado between the characters. The plant up. I always pick on the plant one. Whether the Cobra has the giant plant vegetables and stuff, and you know in one of the scenes they show, I guess it's Wrigley Field or wherever the White Sox play, and then it cuts to you're looking underneath the shortstops in between his legs, and you see the pitcher throwing the ball, and then it cuts to the Joes, and it's like, what show to? I mean, there's no kids show that takes that would have been cut out of, but they did all that establishment to put set the mood, the tone, where they're at,
Right.
and that's why it holds up. And then you got the characters like Alpine and Bazooka, and everybody, you know, carrying on, you know, about the imagine finding that in your salad, ugh, yuck, you know, and just the characters sell it, and you believe in the characters. So no matter what and that's why I like when Resolute came on. It's almost like, okay, playtime's over. Now we got to get serious. Because
You
in
know,
my
I
mind,
didn't
it's
like
still
Resolute
those.
that much, man.
I liked it. I actually loved it. I wish they could have done more with it. Because I felt like it was, to me, in my head canon, in my head movies, my Simple Jack head movies, it was it was kind of like post post Sunbow movie, like Cobra's back,
Maybe.
but I like the, you know, I don't need it to be as violent because I want kids to be able to watch it,
Yeah.
and that's where Energon comes in. It's all laser. Well, I don't know. Rock and roll got fried, so that might be a bad example. But the day rock and roll died, an exclusive documentary. But yeah, but
And then the Valkyries.
yeah. Oh Lord, man, yeah.
That was such a surprise.
Those are the type of girls you better call after that first date, or they're going to show up and there
Right,
won't be no more dates.
right.
Um, no, but it just I don't know that I love the Sunbow cartoon because it just not because it's sentimental, not because it's what I grew up with. Because there's other cartoons I grew up with that I love that's hard to watch, and GI Joe's not one of them. It's one that I can watch it and I pick up on something different. I pick up on like, okay, that was for the adults in the room. Oh, I get that now. I get where he's coming from. One of my customers that I'm real good friends with, he loves the episode. I think it's where Cobra burns the money or something. Because it's Ace is playing poker with like Roadblock and Alpine and somebody, and Ace is like, I'm at the top of the mountain, and Alpine says something. I'm paraphrasing here, says something like, "Well, there's nowhere to go from there." And Ace is like, "That's why I'm pitching my tent and setting up camp because I ain't leaving the top of the mountain." Something like that. My
Yeah.
friend does a really good quote of it. He loves that quote, and I butchered it. But like, it's stuff like that. It's that extra that it's yeah, they're selling toys. Yeah, it's all this crazy stuff going on, but you get little glimpses of the characters. One of my favorite moments is when the in the Jungle Trap episode where Tupac's dad gets captured, Dr. Shakur. That's why I call him Tupac's dad because his last name's Shakur. People look at me real funny, like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Yeah, Tupac's dad, Dr. Shakur." Cobra Commander says one of the best lines ever. Is something like, he's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I am Cobra Commander, Supreme Ruler of
Dude.
Cobra. You may bow if you wish." I love that line. But then, like, they're in the woods, or I'm sorry, they're in the jungle, and it's like just music, and there's no talking, and you see like Snake Eyes warding off some crocodiles. You see somebody doing this, and there's a snake about to get Duke, and Scarlet shoots the branch with the crossbow. It doesn't kill the snake, just knocks it down. Duke turns around and looks at it, and he's like, salutes her, and she's just like, it just loading. It just like little moments like that.
Yeah.
That's character, and it just makes you love those characters, and that's like the little things. And I think when they do the shows for the kids now, and Renegades is a little guilty of this, and I think it's a pretty solid cartoon. But like they miss out on those little things. They just do the big things, the big splashy things.
I don't know, man. I think that the Renegades cartoon was really, really good with the little things. It's like in pretty much every episode. When you get farther into it and you have the episode where they meet Snow Job, that one was a really, really good episode.
I'll
It
have
had
to
a
watch
lot
that
of,
one.
yeah, it had a lot of adult oriented themes to it.
Wasn't he recovering from alcoholism or something? Maybe.
Uh, he has severe PTSD and survivor's guilt.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
PTSD and survivor's guilt.
Well, I did watch. I like the episode where you see Duke's parents, and it's voiced
Yes,
by Duke and
his
Scarlet.
his parents and his brother, and then you have the episode with oh man, um, shipwreck.
I saw that one recently.
Yeah, the shipwreck episode was really good.
My best friend now he loves Renegades, and he was so happy to hear that my son likes watching it. And
Yeah, I want to go back and watch the entire series, and I'll probably watch it with Ivy or something.
he always
But I think
says
that
he always makes a point to say it's kind of like it's the A team,
yeah,
and then they
it's the A Team
introduce
meets
you
GI Joe.
and they introduce you to characters that are going to eventually be the GI Joe team and Cobra. And I'm like,
Right.
that's a good way of looking at it. Like in maybe season 2 or 3, it would have formed the team. I just think
Yeah,
Hasbro doesn't give things time to grow or time to develop
it's
because
like they just miss the target. They get close and they just miss the target sometimes.
and then they give up the
Renegades
sport.
was one of those things that would have, I mean, dude, Renegades would have nailed it in my opinion if it would have been done on a on a streaming platform or something that everybody had access to. Like
Well,
if they
see,
were to do
here's
that now,
this would be my challenge. This would be my challenge to Hasbro. take Renegades, take Sunbow. Well, we talked about the Sunbow stuff enough, but like take Renegades, put it on YouTube, put it on a stream, put it on Netflix, make a big
Hmm.
deal about it, and announce you're doing a season 2. Make it 10
Yeah,
episodes,
it'd be
8
killer.
episodes, and just you don't have to do FCC stuff because it's not on broadcast television. It's on your streaming channel.
Right.
You can do what you want, and but you got to keep it clean for the kids or whatever, and then just kind of take what you learned and roll with it. I mean, and do something with it, and just give it a shot. Then
Yeah.
if it like you can check your metrics. Is this kids YouTube? Is it adults? Is it who's on here? I think there's just so many ways they could reach out to kids, and I just don't think they're doing it because they don't have the leadership to
I
do
agree,
it.
man.
I'm not knocking their quality. I mean, like the stuff they put out looks fantastic. I mean, aside, put aside some like bent up guns or whatever, but just like the quality of the figures when they bake the cake is good.
Yeah.
But you got to have more than like the 40 plus crowd buying the cake. You got to get the kids eating it too.
That's the whole key right there, man. It's
And they always
like they
say
are
they're always like,
relying on us, and we're not going to be
and after
around that
years
much
of saying
longer.
they didn't,
Yeah.
years and years of saying they didn't, and then they say, oh, well, kids are different. How different are they? They're born the same. They play sports. They play video
I think
games. They go outside.
it's on the delivery and how to get it out there to them.
And if kids are going to
But
be, I tell you, the common theme we have with Wyatt's age group talking to parents is YouTube.
yes,
You get the kids off of YouTube, their attitude goes away. Like my son's a different kid when he's not watching YouTube all day. Now, not that he watches it all day, but like he'll watch certain shows and then you can't be in the room 24/7. And then it's adults talking about gaming or it's adults talking about Pokemon
we
cards.
have a timer set for Ivy, and her stuff's like severely locked down and restricted. So she
We
gets
got it.
a limited amount of time, and she's limited on what she can access.
Wyatt's
So,
timer is like when they ring the bell in wrestling when like the guys are getting jumped and they're trying to break it up and they're like ding 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 and they
oh,
just
her
keep
iPad turns off.
beating people with chairs. That's what his timer's like,
Yeah, her
you know.
iPad turns off.
But all these parents I've talked to that how many parents does Hasbro talk to or Hasbro leadership talk to?
No
Uh,
idea.
it's like I talk to these parents in my store, at school, at church, and whatever it is, and it's all the same thing. Like, yeah, they're hooked on YouTube and they're watching people do stuff, and it's like, well, what got them on YouTube? Minecraft or Pokemon?
Right.
Okay, how do we get something like Minecraft or Pokemon in the hands of the kids? Kids, I guess kids like playing Fortnite. Let's do a
I
GI
think,
Joe game.
dude, A Ra was lightning in a bottle. It really was.
You might, but I think that whole era was because you think Transformers was right there. Then you
Yeah.
have like He-Man.
But Transformers is still going strong with kids, and they're doing the things that bring kids into it, though. The new cartoons, all those things that bring kids into it.
That's
But
true.
I'm about to go grab another beer and get changed and jump in the pool. So
All right, my friend. Well, enjoy yourself. Everybody out there, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
thanks for watching, guys. And yes, we will see you next week, and we'll have some more updates hopefully by then on our upcoming projects, Dominus and Arc. So
Yep. And David, good luck to you and your family, brother.
yes, and we'll see you soon, David. All right, later, guys.
See ya.